everyone. It's Mattowarrior here, doing another segment of Pathless Lands, the story behind the songs. And this time we're doing Pool of Seers. Pool of Seers, so what that song's about, it's kind of a theological, philosophical take on various subjects from the point of view of like a prophetic or magician type of figure, you know, that looks into the past and the future and sees patterns and of the universe and society and life and all that stuff. I wrote it probably in about 2002, the lyrics, so it was kind of a little bit of a vague memory of what inspired it initially. So, and I guess it's about the search for truth. You know, that was a lot of my lyrics are about that, just the search for the truth behind everything, and, you know, looking behind everything and trying to see what the beginnings of things are, what, you know, the meaning behind everything is. That's a lot of what. Another thing about Pool of Seers, the lyrics is that it's kind of from a more fantasy point of view, you know, kind of. That's why I kind of like, what I like to do is put these meanings in these songs with regards to like this medieval fantasy kind of veneer, I guess you could say. So. What was the process recording Pool of Seers? Well, the process was actually pretty easy because the drums and bass had already been recorded in 2006 and 2007. So because I wanted to do one last try with these recordings that we did back in one of my old bands, Cyclic Creation, wanted to kind of pay tribute to the musicians that I was with in those bands too, in a certain way. So using the original recordings, kind of nostalgic, but not the best recordings, but still it's kind of fun. And also using a different singer, you know, that we hadn't used before in the past, Dives, who's a fucking awesome singer. I really wanted to get him in on this, you know. I wanted to see what his take on the song would be. He's a session musician that I've used, but he just brings so much power and passion to the recordings. Who was it inspired by? What band or artist? Well, I think one of my biggest influences of all time with progressive metal, I use those terms with quotations because I have kind of a contentious opinion about some of the labels and classifications of progressive metal over the years, and I've had quite frankly, I've had arguments with people about it. But Voivod is a big fucking influence on Pool of Seers. The chords that I use, just everything. I am a big fan. It was probably the best progressive metal show I've ever seen was Voivod a couple years ago. And another band that influenced Pool of Seers is probably early Fate's Warning, you know, maybe everything up to and including Perfect Symmetry. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, you know, sort of sounds like the Nightcrawler riff in the beginning a little bit from Painkiller, sort of. I wasn't thinking that when I played it, but I just realized that, you know, subconsciously probably got in there somehow. And I'd say Death, the band Death, the death metal band. Because some of the riffs where I'm playing like these kind of, if you know about music theory, like fifths instead of harmonies, they did that a lot back in the day. Like the, you know, just different parts, like the way I played that stuff. That was very inspired by Death. I was very into Death at the time. So that was kind of inspired by them. And Nick was into Death as well. And, you know, that was kind of one of our mutual influences. We fought about a lot of other stuff, but that was one thing that we agreed on. So what do I think of Pool of Seers now? Well, I think it's a great song, and I'll say that for years I was kind of mixed on it because I had kind of a sour taste in my mouth from my experience at the end of those bands. I kind of soured upon a lot of that music, and it kind of brought back bad memories of some of the more negative aspects of that time, especially towards the end of those Cyclic Creation and Tempest Eternal. It was kind of a rough time for me at the end of it, not during, there were some great times, but towards the end of it, it was a little bit weird, and I felt a little weird about some of those songs, and I felt mixed about some of it. So when I went back and got some new vocals and some new recordings with it, I felt a lot better, and I felt like this is actually a really good song. I guess I intertwined a lot of my memories, with some of those times with the songs, and now I'm able to have an objective viewpoint about it, and I really like it. I'm proud of what we did, and I'm proud that I'm able to bring it to another level with some of the new recordings.
And see the chase, see the memories and see the ways. The march of time has made men blind to invisible ties that bind.